This episode is brought to you by Complete Auto Service Center. If you've ever gone with the cheapest auto repair only to deal with the same problem again, you already know cheap isn't value. At Complete Auto Service Center, value means fixing it right the first time. Every visit includes a full inspection by experienced, certified technicians, plus a clear report that shows what's good, what needs attention right now, and what can wait. That means fewer surprises, smarter decisions, and a vehicle you can actually trust. And they don't waste your time. Your vehicle is inspected the same day, and they contact you quickly so you're never left wondering what's going on or what comes next. I've known Mark and Amanda for years. They've built a shop that treats customers like family, and family that stands behind their work with quality parts and a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. So before that small issue turns into a big repair, make Complete Auto Service Center your first call. Visit CompleteASC.com or stop by 718 Woolard Boulevard in Richmond. Complete Auto Service Center. Complete maintenance, complete repairs, complete peace of mind. This is the Son of the Law podcast. Hey everyone, welcome. Welcome to the Son of the Law podcast. I'm your host, Jay Christopher. It is a beautiful day in Lawson, Missouri, 64062. I want to start by thanking our sponsors, Complete Auto Service in Richmond, Cutting Edge Landscapes in Lawson, and our latest sponsor, the Lawson Review, your hometown newspaper right here in Lawson, Missouri. Thank you also to you for supporting the show. As we say it every week, you are why we do this and what it's all about. We do still have hats and shirts available. 3 styles of Richardson hats, ultra soft T, small to XXX. Share the show across all platforms, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or your favorite podcast player. Encourage people to follow the show. Turn those notifications on so you can be ready for the next episode. As always, we drop every other Monday at 6 a.m. so that drive to work or never miss a Monday workout can be extra special. All right, joining me in my home today is Stuart Olinger. What's up, Stuart?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine.
Good.
You are here for the third time.
I am.
And everyone knows you. So I'm struggling with how to introduce you when we know who you are. We know you sit next to the loud lady on the bench.
The enthusiastic.
No, wonderful. Wonderful lady who ironically is now our assistant principal
Yes.
of the elementary school.
Out at Southwest Elementary, yes. Yes, she is the new assistant principal.
So, Amy, if you're listening, this is an invitation to talk about principaling things at a small town elementary school, if you're willing.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. She loves talking about education. Loves it.
Yeah. And, as I've talked with her about so many other things, as you know, she was super influential in the Lawson area, bringing FFA.
Yes.
And she has you and I were talking earlier, she has kind of a heart for administration. I'm sure she's a very good teacher. I've not been taught by her in that respect.
I have been.
Although I probably... Yes, you
Lots and lots of things.
Now listen, class. Right.
Yep.
Although I do still sometimes identify more with 3rd and 4th graders than I do others. So, I'd probably fit right in one of her classes. But anyway, that'll be good to talk with her. But yeah, so we know you. So let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
Start with rapid fire questions. When was the last time you questioned all your life choices in the bathroom?
And probably, who knows? Maybe this morning. I was getting ready to go run the 5K race this morning, wondering if I was going to have GI issues or, yeah.
Yep, got a pre-race number 2, and not sure if we're gonna.
Not a during the race.
That's right.
That you don't want that.
What is the grossest thing you've eaten purely out of necessity?
Oh, medicine, supplements, some of the stuff that I've tried through the years.
Yeah. We actually talked about that once on one of your other episodes where you see during race fuel as medicine. It literally is just,
Yes.
it's calories, it's protein, it's whatever, sugars, whatever you need just to keep going.
Yep. Medicinal. Yes.
Have you ever regretted signing up for a race the moment it started?
No, I haven't. But the 2 weeks, probably it starts 2 weeks before the race. Every race I've ever done, anything, any kind of endurance event, it starts like 2 weeks before. Once I toe the line, I'm good. I'm okay with it. But for some reason, 2 weeks before, I start thinking, I don't want to do this. This is too much. But
What does that mean? I don't want to do this. Do you work yourself up because you think you can't, or do you start having anxiety about it, or what?
oh, just planning, traveling, anything like that, getting all the parts and pieces together. It just seems like it's not the actual race. It's just getting everything ready and getting to it. And do I really need to do all that and bring all that much more to a life full of chaos anyway?
Yeah. Well, I have another question deeper in the interview that's kind of based on that. You know, anybody could just get up and do one of these things on a random Saturday morning without anybody watching or whatever. And generally speaking, with the right event or the right planning, you could save a lot of money and be a lot more efficient in it.
Yeah.
But here we are. We sign up for the big race. We go down where there's a bunch of people doing it at the same time. And there's got to be something that goes on in the human psyche for why we keep doing it. Like, I mean, it makes the accomplishment feel better. There may be something to the dopamine shot you get with running with other people. I don't know.
The encouragement.
Yeah.
The atmosphere.
Yeah. To know you're not in it alone.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of times you can be just out there logging miles and you feel alone. And when you see that there's 3,000 other people that want to do this. And it's a little encouraging, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
This episode is brought to you by Cutting Edge Landscapes in Lawson, Missouri. Spring is almost here. And if you're ready for a lawn that actually turns heads this year, now's the time to call Cutting Edge Landscapes. I've trusted them with my own yard, and I can tell you firsthand, the results speak for themselves. Thicker grass, richer color, a lawn that looks professionally cared for because it is. Right now, they're offering a limited time early bird special. When you sign up for all 5 rounds of their professional lawn treatment program, you'll get 50% off aeration or 1 full application absolutely free. It's your choice. And they don't just do lawn treatments. Cutting Edge Landscapes handles everything. Custom landscaping, beautiful hardscapes, sprinkler systems, all completed by licensed professionals who take pride in every detail. With over 40 years serving our community, they've built a reputation for quality work and fair pricing that you can trust. Spring schedules fill up fast, so don't wait. Call Kent and Brandon today, 816-580-3343, or visit callcuttingedge.com. Cutting Edge Landscapes. Your lawn will thank you. Have you ever had a race where your body said no, but your ego said yes?
Probably last weekend was
Really?
the closest.
Right.
Yeah.
We can unpack that a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the closest you've come to quitting and just walking off the course?
Last weekend.
No.
It was getting close.
Are you serious?
No, it wasn't that bad. I jokingly said that if I knew how to Uber mile 11, I may have Ubered out of that one. Yeah, it was not really. No, I don't think I could do that ever.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I agree. Yeah, and we'll let everybody in. Stuart and I ran the Rock the Parkway half marathon.
Yes.
And about mile 10, mile 11, Stuart and I's body said, "Hey, you guys had a great race." And as you know, a half marathon is 13 miles.
That's
and so you
right.
got 2 or 3 miles left. And it is, that was another challenge.
The
that we
body
had to
was ready to
overcome.
celebrate at 10.
That's right.
I had to break it to it that we had to go 3 more.
That's right. Yeah. Another half hour. Hang with us. Hang with us. What's something your kids have done that make you silently disassociate?
Just being kids. Just being children and kids and loud and just being who they are. Sometimes after tough days, you got to go find that quiet area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done, we've gotten to the point where we don't have chips at the table anymore.
I'm with you on that.
I can't do the
Chips ought to be outlawed.
And they're good, and I don't mind eating them personally or eating them, like even in mixed company. But when you get a bag of chips out and everybody is crunching and the noises,
I know it's a dad thing too.
I can't take it.
It doesn't bother Carissa, does it?
No, she seems to be just fine with most things the kids do. It's generally me. I know
it's a dad thing. All the dads out there are shaking their head.
What was the last time you were so tired that you became emotionally unstable?
I don't, just probably during a race or an endurance event or, maybe the MR 340 or.
Do you ever break down and cry? Like when your emotions get the best of you, like what normally happens?
I've never cried anger? My entire life.
I'm the Marlboro man. That's right. You ever see Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? The police officer, get back in there, Tia.
Yeah.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the most unhinged thing you've said to yourself during a long run?
I don't know that one. Just a lot of bargaining, a lot of begging and bargaining.
Well, last week I was going to say there was the unhinged thing starting to come out of your mouth, but I was in my own world and my own head. So I couldn't tell if you were talking to me or if you were just telling yourself like you were so frustrated about like the stoplight that was way up ahead or we were running up hills or whatever. I was like, was he cussing at me or was
you just become unhinged altogether. And it's kind of one of those, I speak quietly. So there's something that I disassociate when my children don't hear me.
Oh, okay.
And I have to repeat myself. So I remember trying to say something to you out of breath and you said, What did you say? And I was just like, I'm not repeating myself. No, I wasn't talking out in.
I thought you were talking to yourself and trying to like find some motivation somewhere down deep.
I was trying to find maybe something light to say or funny to say. And you said, what'd you say? And I'm like, no, can't repeat it. I'm not repeating it. No, it's too much. It's too much energy to do it once, let alone twice.
Started out as a good idea.
Yeah, it did. Yep.
These just get worse. Have you ever had a workout where you just started bargaining with God?
All the time. All the time. Yeah. I'm promising myself things. Yeah. All the time.
Have you ever had a moment mid-race where you thought, I paid for this suffering?
I see those signs.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Mm-hmm. And at first I smile and laugh and then I think, yeah, they're right.
You got a point.
Why would I do that?
You got a point.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. This episode is brought to you by the Lawson Review. Since April 8th, 1881, one thing has never stopped in Lawson, Missouri, the local newspaper. From the very first printing of the Lawson Gazette to today's Lawson Review, this is the county's oldest newspaper with uninterrupted publication. Generations have lived it, written it, and read it week after week. The Lawson Review isn't just news. It's school events, local sports, city decisions, community voices, and the stories that may not make the big city headlines, but matter most right here at home. A subscription is just $29 for 1 year or $51 for 2 years. It's an affordable way to support local journalism and stay connected to your community. Contact the Lawson Review at lawsonreview@gmail.com. Visit at 405 North Pennsylvania, Lawson, Missouri, or call 816-296-3412. The Lawson Review, your hometown paper, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. What is your worst dad brain failure you're willing to admit publicly?
Okay. Probably that my kids are more experienced than they are and that they can read my mind when we're working or doing something. That's probably if I had one thing to fix, it would be that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
you can go from 0 to 90 miles an hour.
Yes.
In the lift of something heavy and they need to do something while you've got the weight off the ground or whatever. Yeah.
And they're just standing there looking at you.
Yeah.
But in their defense, they have no idea what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that I struggle with terribly.
That's maturity, Stuart.
Yeah. Well, I hope I get there sometime.
We'll either get there or they'll move out first.
Right.
And then, either way, the problem sort of solves itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping for that day when they say, Dad, you're getting too old. Let us do it. Sit down. Yeah. I'm looking for that day.
That's actually a really good day to look to. Maybe you should just start there. Be
Maybe.
like, I'm not doing it. You
I'm
guys
just
do
going to
it.
sit in this lawn chair
Yeah.
and watch you and tell you what to do.
And if you break it,
Yeah.
then you broke it. That's,
Right.
that's
Right.
it. What's the least athletic thing you do that completely contradicts your fitness level?
Eating bad, I guess. Is that
okay? That's fair.
Yeah.
I was going to say throw a ball left-handed.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I feel like, hey, I'm pretty coordinated or whatever. Then I try to throw a ball left-handed. I'm like, I hope nobody saw that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, or swing a golf club.
Oh, you can't swing a golf club?
No, shoulders are
Okay.
just too stiff, and I look.
Like Charles Barkley?
Yes, I do. It's terrible. It is a terrible thing to see.
If somebody had to shadow you for a week, what would be the thing they would be most disturbed by?
Maybe I do get a little moody.
Moody?
Yeah.
When do you get moody?
When my kids don't know how to read my mind.
Do you get moody at work?
I can.
Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
Even I say you got a new job now.
It's kind of all, intertwined, when you're trying. I'm not the best communicator. So I need, so yeah, I'll get that way with fellow employees. So yeah.
All right. Well, today's episode is kind of interesting because we've had you on a couple of times, and both times have been sort of post-major, I say major, significant events or races that we've done together or that you've done, and that there's lessons to be learned in your experience, right?
Yes.
And generally we have topics that I want to cover, and I don't generally get around to doing it because we're so focused on the thing that you just accomplished, right? People are interested in that.
Right.
So we'll talk today about running this half marathon that we did, but I want to kind of expand and go beyond just the event and think more about holistically about the person who is pursuing these sorts of things or is interested in these sorts of things, particularly at different ages. You kind of get outside the 20s. Excuse me. You kind of get outside the 20s, and if you're not intentionally pursuing it, your body won't just do it like it used to.
Yeah.
I used to be able to just 20 years old, just get up, leg a 5-mile run or a 10-mile run, and it was fine. And now, not so much. So
you have to work your way up to it now,
big time,
and stretch and take care of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the tone that I'd like to take here today. Let's start with kind of, reflecting on kind of who you are beneath the resume. You've had a successful career, strong family, long-term commitment to your health. How do you personally define success at this age? And I talk about your strong career. You've worked your way up through a construction management company, and Rex said recently, even into a new role within the organization. You have a very strong family life, very long-term commitment to your health, and you do all of these things sort of without, I don't know, you make it look easy.
Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead. How do you define success at this age?
It's well, you said it. It doesn't. You said I make it look easy, but it's not. I mean, it's just how I hide it.
Like the
thank you to Marcus Aurelius and the Stoicism.
Okay.
How do you measure success? That I don't think I was prepared for that question. It's you just you leave everything better than you started. You take care of yourself. Like you said, it's the balance between family and work, and then taking care of yourself. And it's a struggle. It's an everyday struggle. It's not. I don't know. I don't know where we were.
We were talking about how sometimes the thing that you think is selfish is actually necessary.
Yes.
You know, like you go to work and that's for provision.
It is.
You go home and you do things for the sake of your home, and that is necessary for the burden of responsibility, right? You
Sure.
have to maintain and manage different disciplines in your, in your work and in your career and at home and whatnot. But there's sort of a weird selfishness that comes with taking care of your health. You want to walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, it is. You have to be selfish to do it, I think. But you have to think long term. When I decided to start living a lot healthier, I wasn't in terrible shape, but I was heading down a path where I was more than likely gonna, have to have high blood pressure medicine. We have a lot of history in my family, with that, and just different things like that. So I made a conscious decision that I didn't, number one, want to live through medicine or pills, and I wanted to spite my family and be there for them even longer, in spite of what they may want. I'm gonna be around.
Yeah.
And my quality of life too. And I realized that if you're not moving, you're just not, you're not gonna move. You're not able to help them.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's still it can feel like a selfish act
Yes,
to do an exercise or do a workout when you've got maybe a competing interest somewhere else, and somebody says, "Well, he's got time to go for a run. He doesn't have time to do this or whatever," and you're like, "Well, I don't have time to not go for a run because I don't know."
Yeah, no, you're right, and it's also a balance too, because I can probably overdo it a lot, and like with a lot of things in my life, I tend to overdo things. So you have to figure out there is a balance. Go for a 3-mile run instead of a 8-mile run. Do a half marathon instead of train for 4 months for a full marathon or whatever the case may be. So it's there's some give and take, but you have to take care of yourself and be a little bit selfish.
Yeah,
and there's so many things that are like the stress relief of running or exercising, that I don't think you get a lot of credit for, when you're in a little bit better mood. You're just expected to be in a better mood.
Yeah. I'm going to get to that in a minute. You've got the these 5 words that you kind of come back to for the sake of why you work out and how you train, and sanity being one of those that
is it.
We'll find ways to get that into our conversation. What do you think separates disciplined men from the rest?
Well, I can't speak to it, but once you start doing things that you don't want to do, you build discipline. And so that if you stay on that track, I think anybody can do it. You just have to know that is something that if you do hard things, it's I'm not going to quote the science, but it is science that if you continually do things that you don't want to do, but you make yourself do it, you actually build discipline, and then you're able to do it again and again and again. So it's just taking that first step. So that's the difference to me. So you got to take that first step, and then you make it your lifestyle. So is that what you're asking?
No, it's exactly what I was asking. And recently I've been kind of on a personal, I don't know, what do you call it? Some journey to try to unpack the opposite side of things, right? If you say something is true, well, what is the opposite of that? And what can be gleaned by looking at the negative side of it? So if the disciplined man is waking up every day and choosing something hard to do, and as a result, his life is greatly benefited, The opposite is the undisciplined man is getting up and choosing what is the opposite of hard is easy, choosing the easy thing to do.
Right.
And the easy thing often produces a less productive, or, there's going to be an issue associated with that. So it's almost
Absolutely.
like, you're living your life in a disciplined way, choosing the hardest thing, but the hardest thing is generally going to be what produces the most value.
Yes.
So yeah, I appreciate that. Just again, we'll just slowly get deeper here into different areas, but I want to talk about your work. As an executive in construction, your days aren't light, right? New job, you're kind of in a new role, doing new things. You kind of started right as like you just going through your career over, which is what I know about you, right? Started as general contractor, working, in the trade up to foreman.
I was an apprentice. Started out as an apprentice, knowing very little.
Yep. And then over the course, how long have you been in the trade and in the industry?
I've been a union carpenter for 33 years, a little bit before that. And then...
kind of what's been your progression during that time?
So, yeah, you kind of said it, but I was an apprentice carpenter, and then I basically a lead carpenter when I became a journeyman, and then worked my way into being a foreman when I was probably 28, 29 years old, and enjoyed that, but I was ready for bigger things, and I became a superintendent for a general contractor at about 33. And that was, I've always enjoyed being working for a general contractor, because we do different things all the time.
Right.
Different buildings, churches, hospitals, everything.
You were on a bank run there for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, I've done a lot of banks, lots and lots of banks, lots of office buildings, just schools, all of it. We do everything. So you're always seeing something different. And then so I was a superintendent, and then now I'm the general superintendent for A.L. Huber. So yeah.
And a general superintendent, again, just you're more office now than you are individual job.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
on your busiest days now, how do you protect your time for your health in that way?
It hasn't been as successful as I'd liked it to be. So I'm still working on that. So I'm not a morning person. I'm not a get up early and get going. Never have been. But so I'm struggling with that a little bit. And then it's longer days. So I'm not getting home. So I'm working out later, and then when I do, I'm a little wound up when I try to go to bed, and everybody knows that. And so, yeah, on the weekends, I might have to do a little catch up in the afternoon, take a nap, or do whatever to recover. But yeah, that's something I'm still working on. It's been about 3 months, and I struggled with it, but I'm getting a little bit better. I was so excited to be in the new role, and there was just things that I didn't necessarily want to change, but I made it my goal to not necessarily, like I said, not necessarily change a bunch of things, but at least make it more efficient for the superintendents, all the processes and procedures, just make them, and then follow up with them as well. So I was putting in a lot of time, and I'm kind of getting to where it's not as much. So doing better.
But the disciplined man still comes home or still finds the time to work out. So you're just doing it a little later. Are you doing the same intensity?
I was not doing as much. I'm starting to again now. So, but yeah, it was kind of a tough transition from, being out. The job shuts down at 4, and you just go home. But now it doesn't. There's always something I can be doing. Yeah. Yeah. And when to turn that off and what I can turn off is something I'm learning.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's a good progression. And so how about your family? How do you stay present at home while carrying kind of those same responsibilities?
Well, like, with, I have to give for all that, for that, I have to give all the credit to Amy. She's very in the moment with our kids, and, she knows what they're doing before they know. She keeps me informed. It's her passion to, like as it is with a lot of mothers and wives, it's their passion. And so she just keeps me in line. She teaches me, just like I said, she keeps me in line, lets me know, and we just work it out.
So has there been a time where the seasons of your work or career or these different athletic pursuits that you're doing have caused an area of your life to suffer?
Some others might think that, but I don't think so. I had a lot of hobbies before I took on this hobby, and those hobbies are kind of going to the wayside.
Yeah.
They're not as fruitful. They're not as important to me. I did them. I figured them out. I got decent at some of them. And then I'm moving on. You know, it's kind of what I've done through life. I've done things and learned them, and now it's time to move on to another one.
Yeah, C.S. Lewis wrote a great book. It's one of my favorite books called Mere Christianity. And he talks in his book about how the faster one can let a pursuit die, the faster the body and mind can understand and seek something new. So it'd be like, I'm going to say I love flying.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to learn I'm going to get my pilot's license. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to become an expert in this area. I might even go get a job flying planes for a living. And as soon as I reach a point of proficiency where I've learned the thing, I suddenly develop a passion for gardening.
Right.
And you have this growth and pursuit of that. But you can grieve the thing that you're no longer passionate about, flying or whatever, or you can just trust the natural way of things, let that die, and jump full bore into this new area.
Well, let's take that upon ourselves right now in this conversation. Let's expand for just a moment.
I love this.
Okay. So it always bothered me that I would go from one to the next.
Really?
Yeah. I just kind of thought the people were looking at me and judging me that I wasn't sticking with one thing.
Like what? Like what? Like with your previous passions up to this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hobbies. Can you share an example of a hobby? You made me a pen one time. Is that was that one of them?
Yeah. Well, sure. A little bit of woodworking. I don't do much of it anymore. I don't have a lot of time to do it. So yes. And I've got a lot of woodworking tools that I keep looking at, hoping to get back to one of these days. And I think I will eventually, or hobby farming or something like that. You know, it's, learning how to raise livestock and things like that was a passion of mine for a while, and then the woodworking but like I've said it, I got close to being good at it, and I think I just checked the box and moved on.
Got close enough, and
but is that okay?
Well, that's what. Let's just keep exploring here. So, who is they?
I don't know
when you say they. You thought they were looking at me like.
Anyone in general. I've seen people in my life that have gone from one job to another, or moved a lot, or I try not to judge that. I don't know what they're doing, but you kind of wonder.
Yeah.
It comes up. I'm not judging them whether it's right or wrong. It just comes up.
Yeah.
In thought. So is that also what I'm getting at is I used to kind of worry about it. Now I see it as a point. I'm proud of it that I've learned all these different things and throughout life, and I can speak to it. So, I don't look at it that way any longer. And I want to encourage others to go find lots and lots and lots of different things and have different hobbies and and don't worry about what anybody's thinking.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's what I'm hoping
comes
from that.
So again, back to your health, that's one of those things where you said you got more intentional about it, right? You weren't in a place where you were bad, but you did realize that this wasn't going to go well for you if you didn't make some changes.
Right.
You made those changes, I think, in the very first episode that we met, right? The kids were playing baseball. Carissa and I were talking, I think, is when you started doing that. Remember when she said she asked you if you got a haircut or whatever?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'm like, got a haircut and lost 40 pounds.
Right. Yeah.
So, so at this point now, this hasn't been something you've just gotten good at and bailed on.
No.
Right? I mean, so what's helped you stay consistent for, in this case, decades? Is it systems that make that possible, or is it more routine or internal drive? Like, how do you keep it going?
Well, there's just so much benefit to it. And for somebody like myself, I'm a bit of a workaholic. And so, for somebody like myself, when you go, and I'm like, when it comes to running, I'm not built like a runner. Anybody would probably tell you that, but you get the most work done out of when it's running instead of cycling or swimming. You can run a lot less mileage and feel worn out, tired, used up, and that's what we need. That's what I need. And like I've done a lot of work. And I think that transfers from being a workaholic, because it's like if you think about working on your own plumbing, that's, it's kind of a frustrating deal. But when you're working on yourself, you're still getting all that work done, and usually it's not frustrating. So it's kind of like I've switched from, working hard, like maybe on the house or something else, and I'm working hard there. So I'm still getting that hard work feeling. So it's fairly easy to be consistent about it because I'm feeding that workaholic.
Yeah.
So and that, health and all those other things too,
I love that. Yeah. Because you said this when we were talking in the truck, I'm going to bring it up here because I think this is something that people really might appreciate. Getting practical. How do you eat on a typical day? And then how do you handle like the constant availability of snacks, junk food, and convenience items at work?
When I, as a former wrestler, my eating habits have never been the best. I know one sure way of losing weight, and that's
starvation.
Terrible calorie deficit.
Okay.
A large calorie deficit. That's not the way a person should do it, I don't believe, because you need, a lot of other things, carbs, minerals, all the different things to replenish your body so that you can have the energy to go, the fuel. And so I try my best to, my normal day would be, if I'm doing it right, it would be carbs through fruit and vegetables and just light lunches. I don't like to eat at work, and I'm not a morning eater.
Have you done crazy work on protein and intake and protein and things of that nature?
And very low carbs and things like that. So, that's how that would be my normal. Low. I don't know. I've got a sugar thing, so I try to stay away from carbs. And I think it goes back to, and again, the science. And I don't want anybody here, and I hesitate to say it, but I feel better when I am low carb as far as inflammation. And some people will say, well, red meat is a trigger for inflammation. You can read that everywhere, but
so is sugar. And so is
right.
Yeah.
And any carb makes me want to have a bowl of, or not any carb, but a lot of carbs will make me want to have a whole box of Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of pushes me that direction. So as long as I'm staying away from that, and my inflammation is down from eating that way, I that's just the way I do it.
Yeah.
I'm not. Don't anybody eat the way I do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to write a book anytime soon on diet.
Well, and something though, so I've had the opportunity to observe, right? I mean, what you're saying is it's still very mainstream. Limit your carbs, limit your carbs, limit your sugars, kind of focus on your health, right? Move. And it's not rocket science.
Right.
And, you know, you're obviously talking about caloric deficit. So not a whole lot new under the sun, but I think it's good to see different people in different seasons of their life really focus on these things. I think particularly as we get older. And I got a whole section on inflammation that I want to talk with you about down below, but because that's something I've personally observed from what I eat, drink, medications I take, how much water, you know, all of these things have played into my own personal health journey. I'd just like to get your take on them here. You know, again, as we talk with one another, I'm always learning new things from you and learning new things about the way you approach your life and your lifestyle. And you said you're always ready for a triathlon. You said you try to stay ready for an Olympic distance triathlon anytime, anywhere. Why do you live that way?
I think you could do anything you wanted to do physically if you were always. That's just the benchmark.
So just stay ready for that. And,
yes.
And just so people...
Not so that I can do that, but
right.
so that I am that healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people can understand what threshold that is. What is an Olympic style triathlon?
They change it a little bit, but it's 1,500 meter swim, right around 24-mile bike ride, and a 10K, 6.2 miles.
Okay.
And
so you're running for hour 15, hour and a half. You're biking for about the same amount of time. And how long does it take to swim that far?
it's been a while since I've done, it'd take you 20, 25 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a pretty high threshold, a pretty high bar.
Yeah. You're in pretty good shape if you can do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Like your level of discipline and your level of fitness for baseline, what day to day looks like is significant. Right. And so doing the hard thing has beget a level of physical maturity that you can't just start day one and expect to thrive at. So, okay, let's talk about our experience with Rock the Parkway.
Let's do it.
So we've got a couple of statistics here. Only about 1 to 2% of the entire population will ever complete a half marathon, right? So we've kind of talked through that a little bit. Finish rates are high, but that reflects committed starters, right? I mean, like you kind of set out to train for these things, right? Take 2-3 months, kind of get ready for it. You have a race day, you go do it. Average finish times for men, 2 hours, 2:15, women 2:15, 2:30. And for men 50 to 60, a typical, finish time is somewhere around 2 hours and 30 minutes. Right. So we're right in that range, and we finished right in that time frame.
Right.
So this relationship that you and I have, we kind of do hard things together. I mean, we see each other and we talk about life and whatnot, but our first hard thing we did was coach our boys playing baseball, which was a unique way of doing it. You do that out of love, but partially because you want to live vicariously through your kids and love them that way. Then we did the MR 340, which we learned a ton about one another there for several years. And then, you've gone on to do other things like that, but I've really enjoyed, just how we've gotten to do tough things together.
Sure.
Now we did this half marathon. So I asked you if you wanted to do it, and you said yes. And then it was like 2 months later, you told me that you said you would never run a half marathon ever again. And the only reason you said you do it was because I asked. Yeah. And so, I think that's just a testament to you doing it. And then we started training. So just kind of mile by mile, I'd like to I'd like to help people understand that this isn't just like a 5-mile run. You know, there's something that happens to the body when you start running for longer than the typical workout length.
Right.
And so I just thought it'd be fun to try to put this in context for our listeners and others who might be interested in doing this and just kind of get some race content. So mile by mile, frame it like storytelling. Going back to race day, what were you feeling at the starting line? How do you approach the starting line? What's going through your mind?
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach that situation?
So last Saturday I was calm. I wasn't nervous or anything like that. Lots of people, lots of music loud.
3,000, 3,500 of your closest friends,
right,
bunched up all together on the starting line.
Right. I just kept stretching, kept warm. It was a little chilly, not terrible. It was good running weather, actually, once you got started. I was mentally, I was pretty ready. Were you?
Yes and no. Like I have tendency to, I think I was ready. I mean, my goal was just to finish, and I felt comfortable that we were getting ready to get started. I wanted to just get started so that I could get finished and call it done.
Right.
So whether or not that's ready or whether or not that's just,
well, there's a twinge of like being impatient too. You're ready to be done.
Yeah. So
take a break.
Yeah. So that was that. But I honestly didn't start getting nervous until like the night before when I started talking with you, actually, because
I remember,
because you think about these things in a way that I don't. I hadn't thought about pre-race fuel.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about whether or not I was going to do goos, and whatnot. And so I went from kind of like, I've been training for this for 3 months to,
right.
Oh man, I know I've been training on the running side, but I feel like I'm catching up here.
Right.
So I had a pocket full of goo and
right.
I know that doesn't sound very good, does it? It's just, like those race fuels. I had a pocket full of those and a bunch of good attitude. And I'm an extrovert. So
really?
I know, right? Right. So that actually juices me up a little bit. So I'm around there with all those people and the music was playing and everybody's kind of stretching and getting ready to go. And that fires me up.
And I'm 100% opposite.
Well, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like you were kind of hanging out when we got there, you were way over on some other side of the course. And we're like, hey, come up here. And you're like, that's like where all the people are. Are you sure?
Is that really where we got to meet?
Yeah. But we took some pictures and made our way down there. And so that'll be the picture I think I share on social media, just two of us by the start of the line. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's explain to people like how we started in the wave or the time. Like how did we know where to get in line? Because there's 3,000 people there, and 3,000 people, just if the average person has never seen a race like this, it's almost a half a block, right? I'm just people all packed together on the street trying to get through a cattle gate that's maybe 10 foot wide.
Right. Well, it goes to like, you kind of have to have an idea what you can do, first of all, and there's a lot of wearables nowadays that are fairly cheap that you can kind of have an idea. And as you're training, pay attention. And when you get to the last part of the training, know what you think you can do. And then dial it back a little bit because you can always go faster, if you're feeling it. So I had an idea of what I thought I was going to be able to do. And they have the pace setters, volunteers, which I can't imagine volunteering for something like that.
I know.
Because you're not even trying to PR or anything. You're just running at that.
It's just a Saturday morning together with friends.
Yeah. And you're carrying the sign that says 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 25 minutes, 2 hours, 15 minutes, whatever it is. And the people file in behind that sign and just know that is what they're going to try to stay with those people.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And we found our number and we stuck with them. And actually we ended up kind of leaving that number behind, which I think is good.
I agree.
I wouldn't want to be up at the front with 1:30, hour and a half, like some of those people are doing.
Watching these people blow by the whole
and then
race.
everybody's blowing your headband right off your head. They're passing you so fast. So that's what that worked.
Yeah, and then you get out there and you just kind of stick with that for the time, and then you get to the point where you feel like you can charge out ahead, which we did, and so excellent. How about mile 1 through 3? Well, it felt easy. What were you noticing? First 1 to 3 miles.
I don't know that it. Well, it felt easier, because legs were fresh and tapered, in the last week, and so my legs felt fairly fresh. But that was the hill. Yeah, you start and you're immediately going up a fairly significant hill. So you're like, but in your mind, if you've seen the course, you think that you're done with the hill, with the hills. I mean, that one's drastic. When you see the topographical profile or whatever, you think, okay, well then that's
all flat from here on out.
It looks fairly flat. Well, it's not.
Which we discovered.
And so the first hill's like, okay, now my legs are warm. I'm ready to go. This is, okay, let's settle in, hit our pace and go.
Yep. So then we get to miles 4 through 6. And when did it start to feel like work? Was that in the 4 to 6 miles, or was that later than that for you?
It's probably later.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 to 6 wasn't bad. I felt pretty good.
Yep. Ready for this, feeling good. Yep.
Yeah.
Right about mile 5, I had to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And which was weird. I've never had to do that on any of my organized races before, and didn't feel like I could just find a spot in the bushes because of the area that we were running through is like some of the nicest homes in Kansas City. So that was a challenge because you were maintaining your pace. I was like, hey, I'll just run over there and grab it. Turned out I had to wait in line, and then I got all nervous, like trying to catch you. So by the time I caught you, I was not necessarily gassed, but I had an emotional experience like, oh man, I'm not sure I'm going to see him again. I'm not sure I can find him. And I don't know. It took me a better part of a mile. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, and I also used it as a break. My whole outlook on that race was to finish as well. So, it didn't bother me.
Yeah. Okay. So 7 to 9, was there a moment your mind started negotiating with you? That's kind of around Loose Park.
Yep.
Again, on the Rock the Parkway, you start at the Burns and McDonnell corporate headquarters, which is at like 95th and Warnell, right at the start of Ward Parkway. And then you run up the hill towards the plaza, basically. And you get over towards Loose Park, you run around Loose Park, and then you run back right down the Ward Parkway and all the way there. That's why it's called Rock the Parkway. And they play rock music, which is kind of cool. So 7 to 9 miles, you're kind of running around Loose Park, heading back up the hill and making the turn on your way back.
Yeah. So right before that aid station, at Loose Park, where they had the goose, I started to notice that, this is getting this is getting serious.
Yeah, about as far from the car as we can be at that point. There's no turning back at this point.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I noticed that. Yeah, this was a run.
Yeah,
and the body started. Telling me.
And I mean, we can make this as short as a little bit, but how do you start negotiating with your body? Do you start, like, where did it start for you? Was it your knees, feet, hips? Are these common places for normal runners? I mean, you've done this a lot. I mean, this pretty regular symptoms that we were experiencing.
I think so. I always change up my stride. Your back starts to get tired. Your shoulders are tired. Everything's tired. So excuse me. I like to change up. Well, I say I like to. It's kind of a, I'm trying to save myself, but I change up how I run. I don't know that that's good for a person or not. Maybe shorter steps, maybe longer steps. I don't know. I don't know if that's what a person should do or not, but it's what I do. And that's how I negotiate with it.
Yeah.
Maybe trick it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
mile 10 to 12, again, that's where I was done. I think that's where you were too.
Yeah.
And it becomes a very real battle. Okay. So yeah, you had all the data on how fast we were running and everything like that. And I guess it doesn't really matter how fast we were running. It's just that we were kind of ahead of our projected schedule, but that still didn't seem to matter mentally to me. So, because I was like, I can't believe we're running that fast. And then we'd like talk about slowing down, and then we didn't really slow down.
Right.
So that could have been a challenge part. But then at the same time, we were trying to like finish within a given time period or whatever. So just, I mean, like what happened around mile 10 for you, and, you know, how did this impact the body and whatnot when you start negotiating like that?
Well, like I said, I would try to change my, the way I was running, because things were hurting. And so I was trying to give, negotiating with my body by giving parts of it a break. You know, you run a little different when you're going uphill, you run a little different when you're going downhill. So, that's how I was kind of trying to negotiate with myself. But I didn't want to slow down or speed up. I think that we hit our mark as far. I don't think you left any on the course.
No,
and I didn't either. And we were within seconds. Our splits were within seconds every mile of the miles before, or you know, all the miles. We were within seconds.
So we were dialed where we
were dialed in, and neither one of us left anything on the course. So it was, we ran for us. I think we ran just about as perfect as we could run.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, mind you, I don't believe it was too fast.
No,
but we did what we needed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
and again, that's where I go back to the statistics. I mean, if only 1 to 3% of people will ever run a half marathon in their whole life, like, I mean, that puts you in pretty good company.
Sure.
And it's easy to go ho-hum about how we didn't run very fast, but at the same time, we did it, you know? And so that's, I don't know. We'll talk more about the health, sanity, vanity,
the 5 tenets.
Yeah, that you kind of produce, right? But you know, okay, so that's where the battle happens. I found myself looking at people and getting not necessarily emotional, but having emotional reactions when people would pass me. Yeah. There was this girl who was running way faster than we were when she was running, and then she would stop and walk, and then she would run past us again as we passed her, and then she'd stop and walk. And I got to the point where I just wanted to say something to her, whatever, like stop running by, you know, and it was completely irrational.
Sure.
You know, I'd set my eyes on somebody down the way and I'd want to catch them, and then they would eventually run away, and I couldn't catch them, and I started getting upset about that. And, and you know, it just none of it makes any sense like when you're doing it. It just, those are the things I was battling
in life is
with.
Frustrating at that moment, because you're hurting, you're digging deep mentally, you're hurting, physically, all of it. Yeah. But that one person that kept running fast, go past us, get about 25 yards ahead of us, and then walk, and we'd pass that person.
Yeah.
and then they take off again, and it's just, and that went on for a long
time, like 3 or 4 miles.
Yeah. I wanted to say, just don't run so hard when you're running. Just get, you know, it's just, but whatever.
Yeah. And I'm thankful that we did I think we wound up beating her, because I don't remember her running past us one of the last few times. And so I felt good about that, you know, but those are just small victories that, again, don't make any sense, but But then you kind of finish. So our last mile, particularly on Rock the Parkway, was mostly downhill. That still didn't mean much of a kick, but we were able to, kind of finish well. What did it mean to you to cross the finish line?
It was an accomplishment, of course. I think it was 2 miles were downhill, and I was about to. I had burnt all my matches. Yeah. I had nothing left. If there was going to be another hill, I was calling Uber. Yeah, I was getting on the app because that course is a little hillier than I was really ready for. Mm-hmm. I had done all my training on a treadmill mostly.
Really?
Almost all of it.
Really?
Yeah. I ran outside maybe twice.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And it was I don't recommend that at all because you cannot get ready for the hills.
Yeah.
But yeah, that last, you were very encouraging on those last 2 miles. It was difficult. Legs weren't cramping, but they were just locked up. They just weren't working.
Yeah.
And I kept looking. We were dialed in on our pace. But when it was those last 2 miles, even though we were going downhill, we were a little bit slower on those, which was surprising. Yes, at first, and then we picked it up, and it turned out okay. So, but yeah, even downhill, there wasn't anything left in the tank.
Yeah, I just remember, like I said, maybe 6-8 miles in, my hips started getting a little tight, and then it was my ankles started getting a little tight, and then it was my knees, and then I started getting like a little stitch in my right side, like right underneath my ribs, and then like I don't know, it's not my groin muscle, but it's a muscle that kind of comes up there and goes like from your groin to your hip. Yeah. That started tightening up, and it was literally like I felt like I was running without knees, like because they were so like my legs were straight. Right. I don't know if I'm drawing a good enough mental picture, so that slows you down. But then I don't know. Again, as an extrovert, I see all those people there at the end, and that gives you a little charge, and your family's there, and friends, and the whole bit. I mean, that's just awesome.
I just kept thinking, I hope I don't fall down right here in this last 25 yards where everybody's up against the fence watching. It's like, my legs aren't working. I hope I don't go down.
Collective sigh for the crowd. I ran the Chicago Marathon in 2003, a long time ago. Wouldn't recommend it to myself right now, and barely claim it today because I didn't run very fast. But there was something that happened at that race, and it's tragic. A woman had finished just ahead of me, ran herself so hard that she ignored all of the symptoms that we were talking about, and crossed the finish line, collapsed, and actually passed away.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were talking about how unseasonably hot it was and everything like that. But it despite all like the positive things or whatever, it really kind of shows what the human body's capable of doing and pushing through. And clearly she pushed too hard, and I mean, again, tragic. It was all over the news. I mean, it was just kind of a bitter, very bittersweet way of completing a major milestone, but then having that kind of cloud over the top of it. But it kind of gets me coming back to the, why do we do this sort of thing, right? Why train for something like this instead of running just casually? Why pay money to suffer for 13 or 26 miles? What is it about this race environment that changes the experience? Do you have answers for that?
Yeah, for me, I do. I don't know, unless you put something out there as a goal to keep you accountable. I think that's a great way to keep yourself accountable and keep yourself going. And so that's what it is for me. Yeah. And even though I'm an introvert, I do enjoy. I don't know. I do somewhat enjoy the atmosphere. So, and that's also maybe one of the only ways I'm ever going to run early in the morning, because I don't.
Yeah, I'm not getting up otherwise.
No. Oh, I can have one more cup of coffee. I'll wait.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Is this type 1, type 2, or type 3 fun for you?
Last weekend?
Yeah.
It was pretty close. It was type 2.
Type 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still want to talk about it. Still fun. Yeah. And in the hindsight, glad we did it. But,
Yeah, it
Not super fun while we're doing it though.
No, that one, I mean, it was okay. It was good. I enjoyed it doing, like with you and I doing it. I enjoyed that part of it. Yeah. I just don't feel like I really trained the correct way on that one.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I was physically as prepared as I should have been on that one. So it left me wanting a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. My training journey was a little tougher because I said I would do it on a promise. You know, it's the first time we've talked on this show. Christopher, my son, Powell, my other son, we all ran it together. I had made a promise to Christopher in the fall when he was running cross country that we would run a half marathon together next summer. And I was feeling great around Christmas and New Year's. I'm like, yeah, let's sign up for something. So we start looking at race calendars. I'm like, hey, rock the Parkway. I've done that once before. That's a cool race. Let's do it. So we signed up in January, 3rd or 5th. And that was like a Thursday. And the following Monday or Sunday, we all went to the community center in Excelsior. And I set the cruise on 6 miles per hour on a treadmill and would plan to run 3 miles. And I got half a mile in and my shins started hurting so bad that I could barely walk funny. And, didn't, I wound up completing 3 miles, but it was a walk run and my legs hurt for 2 days. And I'm like, what have I done? What have I done?
Yeah.
And so, then you kind of get on this training program and you're like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And so just finishing was big enough, was a huge accomplishment for me. So
well, yeah, I think you did great.
Yeah, crossing the finish line with you and then keeping a promise, a promise kept and whatnot. That's excellent. And then there's the milestone too. So it was really kind of the trifecta of successful things.
Right. And the boys did great. Christopher and Powell.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Powell was the stand-in. Lola was going to do it initially. And then she had tests that she was going to take for school, kind of get ready for college. And then, Powell was like, yeah, I'll do it. And, I'm like, have you ever done this before? Nope. And so he got race ready and ran faster than I did in a month.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly humbling. And I'm also so proud, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's like, that's awesome. And Christopher ran well too. I mean, he beat everybody.
He did real well.
Yeah. He finished in the top 10 of all the 15 and 19-year-old runners.
I saw that. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. No, he did a great job.
Yeah. So happy to see him succeed that way too. Let's see. We've talked very much about the mental game, inner dialogue. Let's talk about your 5 drivers or your tenets that you've got. Some time ago, you and I've talked about these things and we were random call on our way home from work, you and I catch up once in a while and, you're like, it hit me. I'm like, what hit you? You're like, you asked why I do this. And I'm like, here it is. And you just laid it out for me. And it stuck with me. And that's another reason why I want to talk with you. You do this for health, sanity, vanity, adventure, and competition.
Yes.
In that order. And, at least that was the order that you gave me.
They could be interchangeable, but for the most part, yes, that's the reason.
So I think that this is the most significant part of our episode right now, like of the thing that I want to talk with. And so if you don't, I want people to really hear you and take these things out of it. So when you say you do these, can we go through them one at a time and you just say, I run for health or sanity, vanity, adventure, competition? What does that mean to you?
Well, to preface that, I had a guy that I have trained with in the past, and he helps me sometimes, kind of a little, does a little coaching, helps me. He asked me when I talked to him again about some other things, are you wanting the podium or what are your goals? And so that's where I kind of came up with that. It's like, what am I doing? And I've done it long enough to where I could probably organize my thoughts. And so after one long run on the treadmill or something, I don't know, I wrote them down after I'd thought about it. So yeah, health, I think that speaks for itself. I want to be around, as I said earlier, I want to be around for my kids. And I want to feel good while I'm there. I don't want to, I want to be able to do things, help them build a deck or, whatever it is. So, I want my quality of life as I get older to be a good quality of life. And I think that's the way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So it's on its face. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Just to
there's
be
no
healthy.
hidden meaning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's longevity, aging well, and good blood pressure. Yeah. There's no hidden meaning to that one.
We did an episode with Tanner Stark and called that one Choose Your Hard. So if you're going to go back and listen, that's the one. That's one of the choices, right? You can choose the hard associated with working out and the discipline of doing these things, and you're gonna ache and you're gonna feel pain for the product of the workouts that you've done, or you're gonna choose another hard, which is blood pressure medication, having difficulty getting upstairs or whatever. You're gonna be in pain, you're gonna be sore, you're gonna do these other things, but you're gonna, it's hard either way. So it's your choice. Right.
It is.
All right. So let's talk about sanity.
Well, that's where the suffering kind of comes, the self-loathing, suffering, punishing, the mental kind of part of it comes into play. I think, and I've lifted weights off and on all my life. But I think endurance, hard endurance, challenges, I get it better with that. Because as you said, you pray, you talk to God, you negotiate with your body. You're going through just all kinds of different things as it hurts, and you're trying to figure out ways to make it go through it. So the sanity is like, it helps you, relax after a hard day. It helps you compartmentalize things. You get the endorphins afterwards. The suffering helps you. Once you're done, it's such a sense of accomplishment that it helps you with your mental frame of mind. Yeah, it really does. It does me.
Yeah, I had a former boss that talked about how crappy a day can go.
Yeah,
makes for an excellent workout later.
It can, like literally, for sure. Yeah.
Just take all of the stress and emotion and everything that you were wanting to put into the anger or the, unhealthy solution and put that into your workout. And that's a good way to, it's a good way to cool off.
It swirls around. There's something that swirls around in my head is they're not going to take this from me too.
Yeah.
I mean, and they is just whoever, or whatever. It could have been a driver. It could have been whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So
I love that. I've taken recently to saying thank you.
Yes.
Just whatever the feeling that I'm experiencing, thank you. I mean, doing kettlebells or whatever, and I will get to the point where my VO2 max is on high alert. I feel like I'm going to pass out because I've worked so hard doing these squats and shoulder presses and all that stuff like that. Yeah. And I can hear my heart pounding in my ears. I'm pushing whatever, and I'm literally just thankful. So thanking God for the opportunity to feel something.
Yes.
And appreciating that struggle or that suffering instead of just hating it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe that's the growth that you're talking about by doing hard things.
Yeah. I like to give thanks to God after a good after a really good workout.
Yeah.
But I also like to give thanks that I'm physically able to have a bad one.
Yeah.
Too. So
yeah, it's okay to suck. It's not okay to skip.
Right. Right.
Okay. Vanity. And I love it the way you pitched it, right? But because it is vanity. You want, like, when you say vanity, what do you mean?
Well, I want to be just proud of myself. I want to look as good as I can look.
Yep.
I want to be proud of myself. I want my family to be proud, of me when I walk into a room or anything like that. So it's vanity is a real thing for me.
Yeah. And
on that.
Yeah. And it's one thing, and that's the thing too. The vanity word is, it's charged, right? Politically, or even in certain circles, it's Vanity is self-forward focused. It's selfishness, right? I mean, there's a lot of different things, but it's also a message that you're sending to the world of your discipline.
Sure.
Right? You can, if you walk into a room, just by your presence and people looking at you, you're communicating so much.
Right.
How do you take care of yourself? Every pound of muscle that's on your frame, the way that your clothes fit, that is an unspoken essay to your community. Right. And to ignore that, I think is, I don't know. I think that's not necessarily irresponsible, but I mean, you've got an opportunity to say something about yourself here, and that's the way to do it, is to be in shape.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it stimulates pride, and not the bad pride.
Yeah. Can we say confidence instead of pride?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Just being confident in yourself. And that helps you professionally. In all ways.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I like the, look good, feel good, do good, that sort of thing.
Sure.
And it's not necessarily grammatically correct, but
I understand what you're saying.
Dress for the job you want, not the job you have, that sort of thing. It just really is good for everything. It's a gift that kind of keeps on giving.
It is.
Also, like the Jelly of the Month Club with Clark. All right. Adventure. How has the fitness opening doors to experience you otherwise wouldn't have had?
Adventure is a reason I do it. I don't do fitness so that I can adventure. I adventure and intertwine fitness in with it.
Yeah.
So it's like the MR 340. That was adventure. Riding the Katy Trail. That was adventure.
Yeah. And
I had to get in shape leading up to it. And then I had to be in shape during it. And the adventure was much better because I was in shape. And so, adventure is a bigger one for me than it's big for me. I mean, just running long distances. I don't know how many half marathons I would want to do. Or frankly, I don't think I want to do a marathon. Just a standalone marathon there's nothing about that piques my interest.
Yeah. Yeah. So find the thing you want to do and do that. But to your point, you're pursuing these things not for the sake of the medal at the end, but for the opportunity to have some new experience, some new adventure in the process.
Yeah. And if an adventure is a marathon is an adventure for you, then that's your thing.
Absolutely.
And so it could mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, he does this Ozark trail run. It's like a 50K. So technically it's an ultra marathon.
Sure.
But it's done down in the Ozarks on the single track gravel trails and everything like that. Generally it's in like February. And I'm going to look at it next year.
Yeah.
Partly because the adventure is not necessarily the goal. The adventure is while you're training, you get to see some beautiful things.
Sure.
I run around Watkins Mill, and I can't tell you the amount of time I've seen deer and turkeys and squirrels running along and stepped in dog crap.
Smithville's the same way. Lots of animals.
Yeah. Oh. How about competition? You said you didn't want a podium, or you weren't necessarily looking to podium, but what's the competition side in it? At this stage of our lives, what are you? Who are you really competing against?
Just myself, really. I mean, I don't really have anything that I'm not really. I'm a competitive person, but But I think that I'm mature enough at this point in life that I'm competing more against myself. I want to be better today than I was yesterday, and I, just like the person that you said that you saw 20. Yards up ahead that you wanted to catch during Rock the Parkway. It's the same thing with me. So I am competitive.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I see those people too.
Yeah.
And I want to catch them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm angry with them when I'm looking at them. And then I get up there and they're just so nice. They say, hey, good job. You feel bad about being competitive. But yeah, I'm
Pink Cat Lady.
Yeah.
Remember Pink Cat Lady?
Yep.
I saw her like 100 yards ahead. And by the time we caught her, it was like so great.
Yep.
And then she took off.
Yep.
And I said, you can't take off. We just beat you.
Yeah. Yeah. That was funny. That was funny. That was good.
Yeah. But too, you know, again, I think I'm happy to share my time. It finished right at 2 hours and 25 minutes, which is, you know, about 11:06 pace, which is where we were at. I came into the race thinking I would be somewhere in the 12:30 pace range. Right. I needed to run 14-minute miles or better to beat the course. And, you know, when I say beat the course, that before the course closes behind you and the aid stations don't, you know, stop working and everything like that. So I was really initially worried about that. Finally got to the point where I wasn't worried about that and set a personal goal of 12:30 pace. And then you lined up in the 2.5 hour pace. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to hang with you until I can't. And then, you know, I think you were running slow to keep me up. And then I was running faster than I was. And so I was pooped by the time we got done. And it just worked. It just worked out.
It did.
I ran in literally 1.5 minutes faster per mile than I did. And that's probably the thing I'm most proud of is that I didn't beat anybody except myself and I beat myself by 1.5 minutes per mile. And that's awesome. Well, that's awesome.
You ran a great race.
I feel good about it.
Yeah, I think you had a better race than I did. So, yeah, I think you ran a great race.
Well, but
it's amazing when you taper and then you are around all that atmosphere, how much better you can run.
Yep.
Than what you think than what you're planning on doing.
Yeah. Which is another reason maybe to go do it.
Yeah.
You know, than just the average guy that says, oh yeah, I can run a half marathon this Saturday. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Run on the gravel road and come back and
right.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
How often do you intentionally reflect on these 5 areas? Do you think about this all the time? Do you think I need to work out today for the sake of discipline, or not the discipline, for the sake of sanity? Or, you know,
yes,
I'm not looking the way or feeling the way I need to look in my clothes. So I need to do that today for this reason. Are you thinking about that every day, or is that just something you
probably? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or it'll come up that I need a mental adjustment, you know? So, and so I know a workout will do it. My jeans are fitting a little tight today.
Okay. Yeah. And then it's okay. It's time for a run.
I need to make sure I do it, you know, and
double shot of coffee, lay off the snacks.
Right. Right. But they can also, transfer to other parts of life too, really. I mean, mostly fitness, but it can go the other way too. The rest of you.
Let's talk about recovery and optimization. Optimization. What, I mean, how do you recover? You've, and again, this is where I think we talked again on the phone a couple months ago now, but I'm starting to get into things. And as soon as I bring up topics, you kind of come out with a wealth of information that demonstrates you've been working on yourself and these things for a lot of years. And I just realize I have so much more to learn. You do cold plunges. You have a sauna.
Yeah.
You're intentionally investing in yourself on the beginning side, right? I mean, I talk about shoes, and I'm just like trying to find a good pair of shoes for a decent price, right? And I'm basically buying on what's on sale. And you're like, have you ever been fitted for shoes? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about motion control? Have you thought about, you know what I mean? And so you're investing in yourself in the right equipment. You're training and you're disciplining yourself through there, but you're also trying to recover well. So how does the cold plunge impact you? How does the sauna, like, what are you doing to sort of take care of yourself after you've been in a big workout like that?
Well, a cold plunge, I don't know, there's mixed reviews, mixed science about it. I like it. I do believe, and I can't, it's been so long since I researched it. I can't state all the science on it, but it does help with inflammation. it's supposed to get rid of like the brown fat, the visceral fat on your body as well, you know, that's packed around your organs, and the stuff that's hard to get rid of. So there's a lot of benefits to it. What I like to do is, since it, you know, just relying on white knuckle discipline to do a workout, I enjoy jumping in that before I go do my workout. I've read that you don't do that afterwards because it can negate the effects of building muscle.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. It has something to. I think it has something to do with, you know, when you're lifting or working out, you get micro tears and all that. Well, the cold will help with that, heal that faster.
Oh, so you don't muscle doesn't grow then,
right?
Okay, interesting.
I believe that's part of it. So yeah, I do, and it gets you really stimulated and ready to go to do a workout. I mean, you're awake after being in 40-degree water with ice floating around you. You know, you're ready to go. Put on a little bit of good music, and you're ready to give it a lot. So
I watched some guy get in a frozen lake, and then he was doing some discipline camp thing for a week. They cut some hole in the ice, and you walk out on the ice, and you get in the frozen lake, and you're in there for a minute or two. And then at the very end, you have to stick your whole head under the water. And when you do that, you come up and then you get out, and you're just like amped up.
Yeah.
So I've never done it yet.
Yeah, you should try it.
I know.
Come over and try. Well, and that's one of the reasons why I like to do my treadmill and all that kind of stuff, because it's all right there at my house.
Yep.
Since I live where I live, I can't jump in the cold plunge, get dressed, then drive to where I'm going to run.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so it kind of, so that's why I don't mind the treadmill so much, because it helps me.
Yeah.
Helps me do that. So,
how about the sauna?
Yeah.
You have an interesting sauna. It's like it's like a curtain thing. And
yeah, it's not a top of the line sauna.
This isn't like a wood one.
No.
Or whatever.
It's like canvas.
Okay.
And it doesn't get as hot as you'd like for it to. Again, a lot of I've done my own little research on it, and I don't think our sauna gets quite as hot as it needs to for it. But that there's a lot of data out there that says by sitting in a sauna, your all-cause mortality reduces significantly. All cause, not just, it's not just helping you recover from running or whatever. The Scandinavians have been doing it forever, and they sit in some seriously hot, like 180 degrees. Ours only gets like 140. So, it's pretty hot. But once you're out of that, you get rid of all those toxins and you sweat all that out. I do feel good. I do.
Then jump in the shower and you're off to the races. All right. What is something new in recovery or health that you're curious to try?
Well, there's a lot of peptide therapy that is going around, about, inflammation, and so there's a lot of development on that I'm interested in reading. I believe that there's a lot of stem cell science. There's a lot of science as far as using stem cells. I don't know much about that one, but it would be interesting to find out as we get older, our joints break down, and can that help you? Yeah,
the GLP-1s, whatever the GL stands for, but that's a peptide. And I'm not a big fan of that. I've heard some different theories on those that suggest that the health impacts are kind of greater than the improvements. I'm sure there's some ethical conversation they're having in the medical community about it, but the peptide therapies on the other side of that. I mean, this is just quicker way to recover.
Yeah.
It can be super fast, and it can be just like a Oh, what are those intravenous bags that you can take? You know, it's like it's like saline solution, but it's like a bunch of like oh, let me look it up real quick. What is it? You know what I'm talking about?
Collagen? That
No,
no.
it's not collagen. It's like a
Hmm.
there's like they like medical centers do them. Like a vitamin.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have heard a little bit about that. Like, is it vitamin B?
It's like it's like an IV. Yeah, intravenous solutions that deliver vitamins, minerals, fluids, and antioxidants directly to the bloodstream for maximum absorption.
Right.
So it's like an IV vitamin drip. You go in and they, if you're just like if you've been sick, if you're you've been traveling for a while and your body is just depleted or whatever, people are going in and they're doing these things, and I don't know, it seems awesome. So
right.
I don't know, but there's
a lot of stuff
expensive
out there on the horizon.
Looking here, it's like $250 for one session somewhere. So,
well, you mentioned some about the GLP-1s, and I'm far from being an expert on any of that stuff. Probably shouldn't even be talking about it, but there's others that aren't like the GLP-1s are for inflammation. They do help. They're supposed to help with inflammation, but it's also weight loss.
Yeah, yeah.
But they have things out there that is for inflammation and inflammation only, and not weight loss.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah, that's kind of where I was going.
Those are some of the things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the weight loss. However, if to each their own. If that helps get you
started,
and you do, it's done responsibly by a physician or whatever, then and then you go from there, and you're exercising, then I can't fault somebody.
Yeah, I got a hot take though. Watching Serena Williams, one of the arguably most peak athletes in the history of women athletics, and Charles Barkley, one of the most dominant. Was he a forward?
Power forward.
In all of the NBA, as the spokespersons for weight loss medications, when you've dedicated your life to looking and performing at an elite level without that, is hypocrisy.
I believe Tom Brady's actually now a spokesperson for some of that.
Really?
Yep.
That's tragic, in my opinion.
It is.
Yeah.
Where's the line between people who could use it for 3-4 months, 5 months, and then once they've lost the weight, they're able to jog.
Yeah.
Otherwise maybe it would take them. It'd be a lot more difficult. But yeah, those two probably should be doing it on their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they did it on their own their entire lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean,
they have the ability.
Yeah, and again, I'm not shaming anybody for a paycheck.
Right.
I'm sure they're getting a handsome fee for their name, image, and likeness. But just I don't know, that to me is like it feels like a shortcut, and so that's a challenge.
It is.
How about again, back to inflammation? What's been your experience talking about inflammation? I didn't even know what it felt like until I started realizing what it felt like and doing some research. Like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you learned about inflammation that most people get wrong?
I don't, that's a tough question. I don't know. I don't know what other people get wrong. 'Cause I don't know a lot of people my age that are doing that do what I do.
What do you do?
Well, I mean, as far as the endurance and or not being able to do endurance because of it, I take some supplements. I take, like the regular ones, fish oil, glucosamine, chondroitin, different things like that, and turmeric, some other thing, and I think that's about it. And then I try to eat correctly. Correct for me.
Yeah. Are there certain foods that increase inflammation?
I think anything with any kind of sugar in it just kills me.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does.
Yep.
And some of us are a little bit more predisposed to inflammation. Your job, what you grew up doing, how you treated your body, things like that. I think there's a little bit of a difference between arthritis and just regular inflammation. And I think there's ties, and I'm really getting out over my skis here. But I think there's, to like psoriatic arthritis, ties to eczema, and different, that is basically inflammation.
Really?
Eczema. And so, there's a lot. I don't think there's a cookie cutter. There's not a boilerplate way of avoiding inflammation. It's what works for you.
So what would be a few simple changes that people could make that would have the biggest impact? Just avoid the American diet? Is that,
it would be a good start. Yeah.
Anything else?
Processed foods.
Yeah.
Any of that. I do get into the sugar once in a while. I have a sweet tooth. I have a weakness. And I'll go through a valley, but I don't eat a lot of processed foods. That's not something I do. You were talking about chips. I don't have that taste. I don't need that. Bread, I don't need that. Pasta, I don't need that. And I don't eat it. I don't miss any of it. But sugars, sweets.
What's your if you're breaking down, what's your go-to candy? Is it candy?
No, well, it could be, but mostly like chocolate, or I do like chocolate. I like peanut butter. I'm a peanut butter guy. Amy, she's turning her health around as well. And so we don't have as much sugar laying around as we used to. She's always had strong willpower with that. She can eat one or two things and then just be done.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah. I don't believe in when they print shareable on the M&Ms. No, they're not.
No, that's fine.
I'm eating them all in one sitting. They are not shareable.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can slam an entire box. I'm not talking sleeve. A box of Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I can tell you, there's not one that I do not like.
Right. But I would start there.
Yeah.
And then stay off like processed foods or, like pasta and bread. I mean, yeah.
That's the craziest thing too. It's literally just eat right and exercise. We all know it. We know just keep doing it. Okay. Let's talk about your next adventure. How do you decide which challenge you're going to take on next? And what makes something worth pursuing for you now?
Well, I think about the adventure part. We did a 5K this morning in Martin City, and some of the people that I was with from work, they're talking about, and I've looked at them, but like Tough Mudders.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do one of those.
Do you?
Yeah, or there's a new one. I can't remember what those races are called, but it's where you have to do you run so far and then you lift
High rocks.
That's what it is.
So
I've kind of looked into that.
Be listening to the Son of the Law podcast. I think I have two lovely young ladies who recently completed one. Who are training for another, who will be interviewed in a little bit. So
Excellent.
they'll be on our platform.
Well, that's good. The Spartan races, things like that. But I also, I want to do like an epic hike. I was planning on doing one this summer in Montana. My daughter's getting married in Mexico in October, so I don't know that one's going to work out. But I want to peak Granite Peak, and do a long 3-day hike. Something that's grueling. So is the adventure. I'm just looking for adventure.
Yeah. Well, someone like me who's no, that's not it. I was off the wrong one. Yeah, that's not it. I guess I'm screwed up. So you're looking for adventure.
Yeah.
Okay, so which of these feels more important to you now? Is it adventure? Is it legacy, family, personal growth? Kind of fell into that. I'm trying to kind of turn the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let's start here. Okay, looking to seek adventure. What unfinished challenge still calls to you?
Like a long, difficult hike.
Yeah.
You were talking about. So I said I didn't ever want to do. I had no intention of ever doing a marathon, but I would like to do an ultra.
Yeah.
That's a trail.
Yeah.
One that you're fast walking.
Yeah.
Running, maybe just walking or whatever. I just getting on a road and doing 26 miles. There's just nothing appealing about that, but I'd like to do
an ultra, go somewhere
through the mountains.
Yeah.
Hikes, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think about what the next thing you and I could set out to do, because I don't know what my next goal is going to be. One of the things I was trying to get myself ready for, right? Well, we've already talked about it, was just a promise kept is good.
Yeah.
But we're going to be doing quite a bit of hiking this summer on our family vacation. So I want to be ready for that. So I've got, that's going to carry me through July, when our vacation is, but yeah, my fall is wide open. And so, I'm going to start looking now for Tough Mudders and long hikes that maybe, we can try to figure something out this fall.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, I'll reflect on these conversations all the time. Like what could we do together? What would be worth it? When does the time work out when we can both plan for it? You know what I mean? It's hard enough just to just say, yeah, I want to do that. But then to find somebody who's willing to get in there and do it with you, that's another kind of special. So anyway, I'll look for something to commit to.
And I'm kind of on one thing that I always think about is the book, The Comfort Crisis, where the guy, the author, I learned a term from him, the Misogi challenge. And it's a challenge that you do, that you challenge yourself, and it's
Misogi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask me to spell it
now.
No,
that's fine.
Google it just like that, and it'll just sound it out, and it'll come up. But it's a challenge where that you take on that you have a 50-50 shot of completing it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's difficult enough that where you literally have 50-50 shot to complete it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So
like a hike or something, the hike that I was thinking about doing this summer, I don't know that would be, I don't know if that would be enough.
That's not hard enough.
Probably not.
No.
And so I want something to where, that's what I want to find, something where you got a 50-50 shot of failing.
Yeah. We had some friends over for dinner on Friday, and this person was talking about an ultra marathon that they tried to do, and they got timed out.
Oh yeah.
And so that is a way to evaluate that. Like if I don't run a certain pace and the race course closes behind me, I'm out. And here's the cutoffs, and here's where I'm currently performing. And so, that's 50-50.
Yeah.
I want to spend some more time with different options on that.
Yeah.
Because that's a new way to approach. I've thought about the John Muir Trail, and to do that, I mean, it's 220 miles. It takes the average person a month or so to really crank and get it done, 3 or 4 weeks. But, I mean, you hit weather, you hit issues with your equipment, you start developing blisters or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot can go wrong. Very little stuff can go wrong in 3 days on a hike like that, or the MR340 or whatever. But yeah, it's almost like for the Muskogee Challenge to work the way that you're talking, like you've got to be on something for a long time, or it's got to be really hard.
Right.
So,
yeah, intensely hard or very long. Yeah. Yeah. The longer you're on something, the more chance you have of it, something going wrong.
Yeah. Anything you want to share with listeners before we go? What's next for you?
I'm going to do a couple of gravel races. That's why I have engaged the old friend / coach of mine. There's a gravel farmhouse classic over in Lathrop in 12 weeks, I think.
Yep.
And so that's next. Kind of trying to look for some others.
Yep. We never talked about the one in Nebraska that you were going to do. The listeners of the show would remember that you were planning on doing that in February, but you started that new job and different things worked out, so that didn't manifest.
Life kind of got in the way of that one.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
But I still love to cycle. Days like today, being out on gravel road, listening to good music and just going. It's awesome.
Yeah. That's
therapeutic.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, good luck. We're going to be following along. I love having you on the show and the opportunity to just talk with you as a friend, but also just, again, you're so insightful with these things. And I think people can hear that in our conversation. So glad to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. This has been the Son of the Law podcast. Have a great day.